I am Groot. I am Groot. It's a me. Oh? Yippee! I'ma get you. Whoa!
Holy macaroni! Yo, what up everybody? It's INTRAVENUS here from P.O.L Game Review and P.O.L Music. Welcome to episode 8, featuring the Anbernic RG351V. That's right, this is the vertical, and it has some improvements. We're going to go over all of it, including this wonderful finish. How could anybody turn down this beautiful wood finish? So let's get into it, guys. I hope you're as excited as I am, because we've got the new age Game Boy. Alright everybody, I am excited, and I hope you're as excited as I am, because this beautiful little device is my new favorite handheld. That's right, Ultimate Handheld 2021 Part 2. I don't know, you can call this that if you'd like, but this here is For me personally, a big upgrade from this one, the Anbernic RG351V. This was my favorite handheld along with the PSP and PSP Go before. I still have to keep PSP and PSP Go up in there and PS Vita near the top. This is what I was looking for. It's got a bigger screen. I like the classic nostalgic feel of playing with the Game Boy shaped vertical portable handheld. I actually like and prefer the triggers on the back of here as opposed to this. There's 2 triggers on each side, or shoulder buttons. Here they're raised at different levels so you can feel with your fingers which ones you're pressing, and it kind of curves perfectly with my fingers. There is one less analog stick on this device, but what do we really need that second analog for, honestly? Maybe a handful of PS1 games that utilize the dual analog, the dual shock. Not much. So this has instead added a function button at the top underneath the screen, and you hold this and press down the joystick to access your menu in most games, or you hit that and press A. Now, one thing they've added to here is a second port. Yes, if you followed my previous videos, I have a black Anbernic RG351V, and I accidentally bricked it temporarily because it didn't like a certain ROM I put on there, I guess, and it's frozen trying to start up and never gets past the loading screen. And part of that problem and being so hard to fix is there's only one slot in here, so you have the system data and the games all together, and supposedly you should flash it beforehand or know how to flash your console. This has 2 different SD cards, 2 different micro SD card inputs here. One for the system internal and one external. I think you could put games on both. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, does that mean that comes with more games? Well, yes it does, and we'll go over that in the gameplay. Let's go ahead and take another closer look at the device and really see what is good, what is great, and what to me is nearly perfect. Alright, yeah? It's important to note that when you buy an Anbernic device, it depends on where you get it, whether it'll come with a USB dongle for Wi-Fi if you're going for an older device like the RG351V that doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi. They'll give you that and also a screen protector. And these, they'll give you a screen protector in, at least with mine. I have a feeling sometimes they won't come with that unless that's something new they're finally doing. But it's important to note that the screen protector covers like the exact same size and width of the actual glass lens, which makes it very difficult to have just centered right so you don't get an air bubble. We'll get a close-up of this, but you'll see in the corner, you might be able to see there's a little air bubble, but there's a bezel, and the bubble doesn't cover the inside. It's just on the bezel, and maybe it'll disappear on time. But just be really careful when you're putting it on that you get it just right, because there is not any room for error. So here we have the wood grain model Anbernic RG351V and the original DMG gray Game Boy from Nintendo. They are very close in size, very close. The original DMG is a little bit taller and fatter, of course, and as far as width, the Anbernic is a little bit wider. The screen is hugely improved, much bigger, and they've added buttons because you can play a lot more games on here. If you want to get a closer look of these two devices next to each other, they are not too much different in size, honestly. I've heard some people complain that this eliminates the portability aspect of this handheld, but really, I've already started carrying this in my coat pocket, even my pants pocket, if they're not like scratchy pockets. I don't want to scratch it up or anything, but this is great. I mean, we used to put this in our pocket sometimes back in the day. People have phones this big. Some of y'all with the big notes, the Galaxy Notes and the mini tablets. Alright everyone, let's do a little bit of experimentation here. First, I just want to line up the RG351P with the V and cycle through the menus, because I'm pretty sure there's more menus in general that I saw. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One's family computer, one's Nintendo. 10. Now this one went to Nintendo. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So now we're at all games. 24 and favorites. 25, 26. Now we're at all games. 27 favorites. So there's 3 extra categories in there, if I just did my math correct in my head. Did I see Neo Geo on here? Or just Neo Geo Pocket? There's not a Neo Geo section on this one. So this one had Neo Geo right there. That's interesting to note. This one has Neo Geo Pocket, but I don't know if it has Neo Geo Pocket Color. No, it probably does. There's no Super Famicom, just Nintendo. There's no Mega Drive, just Genesis. Oh, there's Mega Drive, okay. There's no Neo Geo Pocket Color, just Neo Geo. Now, I'm pretty sure there are some Neo Geo Pocket Color games in there, but this one has them separated. So there's Neo Geo Pocket and there's Color. Let's go into Neo Geo Pocket for each one. Okay, Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket. Those games all look the same so far. Oops. Wait, is that... Okay. Looks like we got all the same games. At least for Neo Geo Pocket. But there's no color there, so if we go to color, we have all these extra games for Neo Geo Pocket Color. Now that is pretty cool. Alright everybody, so there is a lot to cover here in this device, and I don't want to make a 30+ minute video. I can do a deeper look if you would like to, and we can return to it a bit. but I just explored the menus a little bit, and I just found that there are other games hidden in the system that aren't marked as viewable till you go in. There's actually a ports section. If you check the checkbox in the menu to make it viewable, it'll have a ports section. It adds 2 games. They're not very good, but I imagine you can get more going here. Mr. Boom is a Bomberman clone, I believe, and 2048 is a very simple puzzle game, but it's pretty cool. There's also 2 other menus in there that can be selected, Scum, VM, and something else. I'm not sure if those are emulators or more for people who want to dig deep into editing the code and stuff. Anyways, I've gone through a lot of these games and consoles, and a lot of them seem to have more games and or different games than were on the RG351V, which is pretty cool, and it makes sense because there are 2 memory card slots instead of 1 now, giving it more space and making it easier for the users to add games and replace games. For example, on PSP, they've added Parasite Eve, the 3rd birthday, which is pretty cool. In fact, it's not even called Parasite Eve in the actual title. I don't think it's just called the 3rd birthday, but it is the 3rd Parasite Eve game. And they might have added something different here. I feel like these PSP games are different than the RG351V. There's a lot of games added to the PS1, though it is important to note that most of them, if not all of them, are in Japanese. So if you can't read Japanese and you're playing a text-heavy or text-driven game, you might be stuck. But here, for example, they've added Diablo on here, which is awesome. And actually, I think I was going to add Diablo to my 351P. And they've also got games like Pepsi Man on here. Pepsi Man can be played without reading the text. There's a Clock Tower game, but that is pretty text heavy, at least the menus. I haven't really tried to play it. I remember playing Clock Tower back in the day, and I feel like most of it was just running away from the Scissor Man, but I don't recall how much was reading or answering questions or anything. I love the first Diablo. I had this originally on the PS1. Well, this is pretty upsetting. Diablo doesn't seem to want to read my buttons here. It should all be set up. It won't let me start. That's a bummer. This is a really good shooter. Shmup, whatever you want to call it. Raiden? Pepsi Man's pretty funny, and actually is a pretty fun pick up and play game for just a few minutes. Now this game, it's actually all in English, and they put Japanese subtitles up there, so this is really easy for you to play if you are English speaking or in America or anything like that. The intro is pretty funny. Pepsi Man! There we go.
Pepsi Man, you got here just at the perfect time. I got a call that a vending machine ahead ran out.
And we're off. Collect the soda cans, avoid the obstacles. Oh. Sure. Oh. Damn. When you get the can over your head, everything's backwards. You press left to go right and right to go left. Oh! I really like that you press down the joystick and hit function to access the menu now, because it was sort of easy to accidentally press down both analog sticks on the other one, the RG351V, in which that would access the menu. You're not going to be pressing that function button at all unless you want one of the functions, so it's impossible really to accidentally access the menu. I love that. And also, to do saves now, quick saves, you'll hold function and hit one of the triggers or the shoulder buttons, which is way better. You've got these up here, featured games. It's gonna throw all the Pokemon and Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong and stuff right at you. That is super handy to me. I really like that. So the volume buttons are here. One thing, really my only complaint, and it's hardly a complaint, but I would like it if you held the button, that it would go all the way up, continue going. Unfortunately, as you could tell, it's not doing anything. You have to continuously tap it. Which is, it's not that, that big of a problem at all, but I want to be able to just hold it, turn it down real quick. That would be handy. Also, I've heard people complain about this reset button because you pretty much have to press it with a pencil, or if you have long enough nails, you can maybe use the corner of your nail or something. I think they did that because really they don't want you turning it or resetting it that way. That's like an emergency reset if you get frozen up in a game. The way they want you to quit games is to go to the menu, exit out. This is the way you should shut down your console and everything. So you exit out there, we're in the main menus, hit start, we'll go to the bottom, hit quit. You could restart it, restart, shut down, yes. That's the way you're supposed to turn it off. Do that to keep your console, your device happy. That's just my suggestion for you. You would also think this nub is kind of in a weird place, but it fits actually really well right there at the nub of my thumb, and it's not even that bad holding it down here. I love the shoulder buttons because if you can see here the way my fingers grip it, I could press down the lower part of my finger and hit R1. Press down the top higher part of my finger and hit the R2 or L2. I like that. I don't accidentally press one or the other ever, and it is nice. Alright y'all, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed talking about it, and maybe you should go out and get one of these yourself. It did take a while for it to show up, but not as long as I expected. It actually showed up a lot earlier than the predicted date. So go ahead and grab yours. I got mine on Amazon.com, and I do recommend this. And this could be your go-to gaming for any and all gaming if you're just into retro only. I do recommend purchasing it on Amazon or something, because the one that Luigi hammered together out of Groot, well, it quickly vanished and then turned back into Groot. So he hasn't got his magic quite right. I mean, he is Luigi. He's not the star Mario brother, am I right?
I'ma get you.
Hey, what up everybody? Thanks for tuning into the end of this video. I just wanted to take a second to show you my new tattoo from Jay Zilla, aka Jeremy Keith in Boulder, Colorado.